It is true I'm doing something different, and I will elucidate as my speech goes on, and I will also elucidate why I'm here online with you tonight, prepared to speak professionally. I've done this project many times before. Some of you who have been around may remember some of those. I introduced my TrueDemocracy.global project in a long prepared to speak professionally speech, and I've done the fifth dimension speech, which I actually went out and delivered outside of Toastmasters. So that was really preparing to speak professionally. As Pat mentioned in the intro, there are many ways to speak professionally these days. It's not just standing in front of people, but it could be here on camera as well. And it could be in other methods too. As a part of preparing to speak professionally, it's not just practicing the speech here, but it's developing the process for some of these technologies here. My preparing to speak professionally speech, I'm going to tell you about some of these things that I have learned and some of the things I'm doing to practice my version of preparing to speak professionally. Are you ready? Yay. So with that, I'm going to introduce you to the world's most boring PowerPoint presentation. And it's boring because I've spent so much time on the technology here that I just threw together a PowerPoint presentation at the end. So it's boring, but it's got information. In my professional speaking, my desired outcome is going to be to promote my photography. As some of you know, I am a photographer, and I've spent most of my life doing photography, mostly as a hobby. Over 40 years, I've been snapping shutters. I have tens of thousands of photos, and a few of those I've selected as some of my favorite photos, and I think that I could promote these professionally, maybe even make a living. There's a lot to choose from. Right now I have 140 that I have online for sale. I printed them up to sell. I go down to the farmer's market here in Benicia and sell my photos. However, I need to create a huge audience for these photos. That's where I want to focus, promoting my photography. Part of this is I want to be able to share the story behind the photos. Each photo has a story. It's not just about displaying the photo and allowing people to acquire the photo, but I want to be able to share how I took it, what I did, and perhaps there's something that people can learn from that besides just knowing me a little bit more. So sharing the story behind the photo. I want to be able to share on multiple platforms. SmugMug is one. This is a photo sharing platform that has been around for a long time, widely accepted by photographers. That is at photography.j.ligda.net. That's my main URL for photos. Anybody could go there. It'll take them to the SmugMug platform. It will have links to go to the store to buy it as well as view the photos. And then there's shopping platforms too, like WooCommerce. I have a WooCommerce website on a WordPress website. That's at 5dmission.earth. And then there's also Etsy, which I'm developing right now. I want to get photos on all of these platforms. Also, social media. What a way to share with people and reach out and acquire an audience. Social media, we all know how powerful that is. Let's not forget about that. So what does this have to do with speaking professionally? The answer is video. I can promote my photos via video. I can show them via video, not just stills. How do we put video on these platforms? There's Etsy. Etsy allows one video for each listing. There's YouTube, of course, the video sharing platform. Why not take advantage of that? Social media, you can share videos on social media. Of course, we all know that, and most particularly Reels. How many of you have stayed up late at night clicking on short video Reels until it was like 2 in the morning? I know I have. I know I have way too often. And I'm thinking, how can I share my photos with Reels? That could be a challenge. Oh, the challenges. Let's look at these challenges here. I want to do this with minimal work and reach out to maximize content on all of the platform. Let me elucidate. Etsy allows 16:9 aspect ratio photo videos, 15 seconds max, no sound. That's one challenge. Reels are 9:16 aspect ratio. YouTube is 16:9 aspect ratio. But oops, I don't want to show you that yet. But let me come back here and explain something to you. Explain, or shall I elucidate? I'm going to elucidate. What is this about aspect ratio? 16:9 is what we see in most videos. It is an aspect ratio like this. It's a little longer than tall. This is what we see on our televisions these days, and most video is in this. For a long time, I took my photos in this aspect ratio. I liked it, but I have now switched over to this aspect ratio, which is 3:4. This is the standard for photography, even though display screens are now at 16:9 aspect ratio. The reason why I switched back to this ratio is for two reasons. One is it's standard for photography, and two is it contains more information. If you have a camera and you change from 16:9 to, whoops, it's upside down, to 4:3 aspect ratio, all it does is it crops the photo in the camera. So why not, if I wanted to do it, I can crop it myself if I wanted to switch back. I've gone back to 4:3 aspect ratio. And as you can see, that's a challenge with the different content because the videos are in 9:16. So that's the first, that's another challenge. The other challenge is to do this with as minimal work and create videos for all of these platforms. And then the last bullet point I had here is the talking head, and that's me, which you don't see now, but you did see a little while ago, that I can add a talking head of me explaining my photography in these videos. The tech used. Okay, this is where I shine. I've been a computer programmer most of my life, and I like tech. So Adobe Lightroom is a photo editing program. This is a program where I can take my photos, I could adjust colors a little bit, make them brighter, give them more contrast, crop them a little bit. And now with AI tools, I can actually remove some things that I don't like to be there. It's a great program for doing this and also sharing photos. SharePoint is a online directory, a cloud platform for storing these. What SharePoint does is I can create a SharePoint directory and sync it to my website. So when I save photos on there, it goes to this cloud platform, and then it reaches Power Automate, which is a Microsoft program that can detect, oh, there's a new photo there, and then it could trigger off all kinds of automated scripts and do things with them, like save them to different websites or platforms and trigger off APIs and things like that. Don't worry about not knowing those terms. It's not important right now. ChatGPT, my buddy ChatGPT, man, how has this changed everything I do? I sit here all day and work on these things, and I have a conversation with my buddy ChatGPT. He is so smart. I think it's a she. It's got to be a she because she is so smart. She knows everything. She tells me about programs. I just say, "This is what I want to do. What can I learn to do this?" And it'll tell me all these programs. And not only does it tell me about them, but it knows how to work them too. It's amazing. It's my buddy. Premiere Pro is Adobe product, and this is for creating videos, okay? This is what I want to do. I want to create videos. What am I going to do about a video for my photos? It's boring just to show a photo, but if I add a little movement, it's Ken Burns is this effect where you add movement, you pan in and you pan to the side on the photos, and it adds a little bit more excitement. So when I show my videos and I explain them, I can use this Ken Burns technology. Premiere Pro allows me to do this. I could program it myself. I can choose the path that it fades in and pans left or right. It's pretty cool. OBS, Open Broadcaster Software. It's open because it's open source software. It's free, anybody can use it. Broadcaster, it's originally designed for live streaming broadcast. And if you notice here that I'm switching back and forth from my slideshow to my camera effortlessly, this is what I'm using to do this. OBS, Open Broadcaster Software. Software, it's software. So that's the end of the world's most boring slideshow. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about this Open Broadcaster software and what I can do with it. What it allows me to do, as you can see here, is layer sources and scenes, and then I could switch back and forth between them. I could also make them larger and smaller. I could also use it as a virtual camera, which I'm doing here on Zoom. And also I can set different instances of this running on my computer at a time. So I can actually record multiple videos at the same time with the different layouts and the different formats. So for the 16:9 versus 4:3 aspect ratio, what I have to do is somehow fit that 4:9 into a 16:9 video. And Ken Burns helps me with this, good old Ken Burns, because I can pan in and out and expand that photo and then show the full frame or just part of it at the same time. So that takes care of that. And then the other aspect ratio, the reels, I forgot to mention, are portrait. They're taller than wider. So 16 this way, 9 that way, as opposed to the video we see here is 16 this way and 9 this way. So in order to do these reels and show my photos on them, I need to use only part of the screen, the top part, and down below I can have me, the talking head, explaining the photo. That's the solution for that problem or that challenge. So I can use this program to record multiple videos at the same time of different aspect ratio and using different layers. So for example, for this layout 16:9, as you can see, I can change this video and make me smaller and move me around. So I can have me, the talking head, up here in the corner of my photo where it doesn't bother anyone. And then, or I can even make it disappear and just focus on the photo here. And this photo is a video that I did with the Ken Burns effect. So let me see if I can start playing this and you could see the Ken Burns effect. So we're moving in and then we're moving down. And because this is just a prototype, it's a little messy here. The motion is not very smooth. I have to learn how to make it smooth. And now you can see the edges popping in because this is a 4:3 aspect ratio photo. And what I want to be able to do is zoom out so you could see the full photo, and then zoom in so that you could see more details in it, like this. This is on a loop, so the end of the video, it's a 30-second loop. The end of the video is the exact same part as the beginning, and it just loops around. I'll need to work on this. Now, this is what I'm going to do on these reels. For the 9:16 aspect ratio, the taller ones, I'll have the video at the top, and I'll have me, the talking head, at the bottom. Where am I? Where's the talking head? There I am. And for the 16:9 aspect ratio, I can do this. I can have me in the corner here, or I could have me as an introduction and then fade to the photo, or I can not have me at all. There's lots of different solutions. But the point is to only record me talking once and create multiple videos. And this software allows me to do this. Now, I want to show you the plan here for these videos, and I'm going to do the example on this and show you how I intend to share the story of the photo. I will elucidate and do one of these videos for you. So just imagine, let's wait for it to get back to the beginning. There's the beginning. So I will start and explain this photo to you as I intend to do it in the reels, using all of my Toastmaster skills. This is one of my oldest photos, taken in the 90s at some time. I actually used a film camera for this. Do you remember film? Probably not, unless you're as old as I am. I don't even know what camera I had. I used a Nikon FE2 for a long time, but I don't remember if that's what I brought on this trip with me back in the 90s. This is over 30 years ago. All the information about the photo, the camera I used, film settings, etc., is long gone. There was no digital capture then and no metadata. The negatives are gone, destroyed. I'm lucky I digitized all these old photos before the negatives were actually destroyed, but they are gone. The story behind this photo is a camping weekend with my high school buddies after I was finishing up with college. So it was a bit of a reunion with them. It was a great weekend. We were up near Mount Lassen in Northern California, if you're familiar with that. So we had to traverse it. I remember it was on a footpath, but a very strenuous hike. And I looked it up for you. It's 2.5 miles. That sounds like a short hike, but it's a 2,000-foot climb in 2.5 miles. That is steep. I don't know how long it took me, but we deserved to relax when we got to the top and take in the view. As you see here, we earned this. Mount Lassen has two peaks next to each other. So I chose one and my buddy chose the other, and we snapped photos of each other. I had the advantage with the sun starting to set low on the horizon behind him, creating this silhouette effect. And this turned out to be one of my favorite photos for even 30 plus years later. The one he took of me was in full light and pretty much an ordinary snapshot, and I have it here somewhere. Maybe I can show you. Later, with technology such as Adobe Lightroom, I was able to edit it a bit and make it pop even more. Here it is. So, there I go saying so, in case you missed that. That's it, my fellow Toastmaster. This is how I intend to extend my speaking professionally to recording videos to promote my video. Do you think my photography, do you think this is something that people would be interested in? Would you stay up till 2 a.m. watching these reels of me explaining my photos? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe some people will. It's not as exciting as some of the stuff that is out there, but I think it will help me reach a few more people. Preparing to speak professionally, my fellow Toastmasters, that is what we're all about, and this is how I intend to do it. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.